Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast, sponsored by Prize Picks. My name is Adam Cohn. I am your host. We're back, baby! Joined by my co-host, Dan Welch. Dan, it's good to be back after the tournament break. In case the listeners didn't tune into our special podcast where we recap the first half of 2021 for Tier 1 Counter-Strike and went over some recent news. How was your tournament break, my friend?
It was lovely. As I said yesterday, I spent some time at the beach, and I did almost no DFS, which was nice because
it's a nice disconnect.
Stressful undertaking.
Yeah, especially when you do the daily grind of like when you do baseball, and then you combine that with basketball, and then there's still the CS:GO going on, and there's NASCAR on the weekends, and you still have golf going on. If you're grinding all the sports, it can wear on you.
It's exhausting. To put it lightly, and then especially if you go through a drought and you don't win, and so it just makes it even worse.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. I've had to take time away myself and come back rested and refreshed, and I completely understand that. But we're here. Yeah. Speaking of rested and refreshed, the players should be very well rested and refreshed, especially for guys like Simple, who I follow his stream, and he played COD Warzone quite a few times on his player break. So, I guess when you're the world #1 player and you just absolutely owned everyone throughout IEM Cologne, yeah, you're entitled to play other games other than Counter-Strike.
Could you imagine having Simple in your lobby on Call of Duty, though?
I'd be waving, bye, I'm leaving, exit! It's crazy.
Like, who's this Simple guy? Is he cheating? Like, how is he so good? I've never heard of him.
Oh, boy. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say entitled to play other games, but like it's nice to see some of these Counter-Strike guys to, disconnect from the game for a little bit and go play some other games or stream other games, and it's nice. It's just really nice to see. But what we have nice to see, Dan, is here ESL Pro League Season 14. We're going to do our normal recap, preview of the event. Then we're going to get into the Draftkings slate. Then we're going to get into our prize picks at the end of the podcast. And I'll do our plugs later, but right now let's preview ESL Pro League Season 14. And I was supposed to have this queued up. I'm doing it anyway. Cadian 1v4 Clutch. It's how I originally wanted to start off this podcast, but I completely forgot to add that. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy how ESL Pro League Season 14 ended as I see Liberty Mutual ads.
In the back of the head.
Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy Cadian's 1v4 clutch of the P250. This is how ESL Pro League Season 13 ended, with Cadian's insane 1v4 clutch of the P250 to win ESL Pro League Season 13.
In the back of the head.
Right. And what did he do after that? That's nuts. So he
and Machine's legendary call.
Anyone looking.
Right.
Gets the AWP and kills the guy CT.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's knifed him, and he's gotten away with the AWP. I'm starting to get nervous. There's no way. Caden, you can't win Pro League like this. You can't win Pro League like this. No way. Exile's left, 40 seconds, and the bomb's on A. Take your time, son. You're about to make the play of your career.
I want that op skin, by the way.
30 seconds now. Exile's on ramp. He's got 30 seconds to keep this one through. A knife kill?
2 hit points at this point.
You can't. Cadian. He's thinking about ramp. Jumps
Saw him.
Exile gets the info. He just has to hit this shot, and he's done it for Heroic. The leader. Calling well above his years. Clearing corners. Oh, no! You're an animal! Heroic have done it, and I just can't believe.
Look at everything shaking in the background. Oh yeah, like this is something too. Like we don't have time to get into it here, Dan. But like when he was talking afterwards, he goes, I nearly passed out."
I mean, talk about a moment in the sun.
Again, Valve, if you're listening, Cadian needs that graffiti on Mirage, please.
Yes, please. I agree.
All right, so let's go over ESL Pro League Season 14. The landscape of Counter-Strike is kind of somewhat different. We had an amazing grand final between Heroic and Gambit to end ESL Pro League Season 13. Gambit has continued to go on and continue like the dominant team they are. Heroic have kind of sort of faltered a bit in Cologne, but again, Dan and I, you and I talked about this when it came to these online teams, the Gambits and the Heroics, the big two that came out of the online era to dominate, going to their first LAN event. You know, we saw Heroic struggle a little bit, and we saw Gambit. They did okay, but they ended up losing the phase in the playoffs, which that's a whole nother story that we're just not getting into.
Did you know they lost a map every match at Cologne?
And there was a streak at one point, I think, where Gambit didn't lose a map at all.
Exactly. That's yeah. So yeah, you know.
So, and I mean, like, are teams starting to figure Gambit out a little bit? Maybe. I think the LAN environment had more to do with it, though.
So I actually think that they have figured it out because when they interviewed Nexa after G2 beat them, he kind of gave up the formula, which is on their CT side, they smoke off certain areas to give the illusion that they're holding certain areas when they're actually not. So I think he might have cracked the code a little bit on their CT side because that's where I believe they're strongest.
That would make sense.
Yeah, and it almost the way he described it made it sound like no one else was doing it or had done it or like it was very innovative. So I just want to put that out there. I don't know that it will, is there necessarily a big secret or really change anything, but I feel like someone actually came out and said that they had figured them out a little bit.
Yeah. And I do want to apologize in advance because we're recording this. I don't know if you all could hear the KD 1v4 Clutch YouTube video. So if not, I apologize, but go check that out. All right, we have a lot to get into and a 3-game main slate to get into on DraftKings. Dan, we know Nexus is one of the best IGLs in the world. We know that. I'd probably put them top 5 after some of their G2's recent gameplay, just to tie up that other conversation.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun broadcast talent team to listen to. We have Stunna. Trace Saranthus is going to be the main desk host. Also joined by Jason Kaplan, Jay Kaplan, the other 2 desk hosts. We have 2 sideline reporters, Frankie and Sadokist. So
nice.
Frankie and Matthew, and then the analysts. I just kind of want these guys to like form their own podcast and just to like listen to them. More specifically, Yanko is just so entertaining to listen to. Moses is awesome. I love listening to Maniac's analysis. Maniac streams, by the way. Awesome streams. If you're up early enough to watch those. I follow his stream, I follow Pimp's stream, Sponge's stream, Scrawny's stream. Scrawny streams are awesome. So the analysts are YNK, Yanko, Maniac, and Moses. So what an incredible just group of analysts that we're going to have. Great sideline reporters, great desk hosts. And our commentators, the dynamic duo, 2 teams of Sponge and Machine, and just Harry and Hugo. Definitely the heavy hitters you want. Dan, our format. Group stage is how we start this off. 4 single round-robin format groups. Groups A, B, C, and D. Each group has 6 teams. All teams are going to play each other once. And all matches are best of 3. First place in the group advanced to the quarterfinals, which is different in this Pro League as opposed to what we saw in EPL Season 13. The first place teams are going to the quarters, not the semis. And group second and third place teams are going to advance to the round of 12. This is a new format change. Dan, what do you think about the broadcast talent and the new format change?
Well, I'm a particular big fan of Just Harry, because I think he's hilarious, and especially with Hugo, because I think Hugo just kind of eggs him on to come out with some great stuff. But yeah, as far as analysis, Yanko, I listen to every word he has to say to try to get a better understanding of the game and the, I guess the chess portion of Counter-Strike, because it's on its what's the right word? I can't think of the word. So, in its front, it looks like you just run around and shoot people, but there's a lot of strategy that's involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to.
Yanko's a great strategist.
Yeah.
So, What do you think of now that, I mean, I think I heard this on HLTV confirmed, there was a little bit of criticism, I guess, I don't know if it was from the players or wherever, about these first place teams and like these formats advancing straight into the semis. Basically giving super incentive if you get there, you just skip this entire, like, all these different games, and all you have to do is, beat your opponent and you're in the grand final. So
I don't dislike it at all because of I mean, it creates motivation for the earlier stages, which is good for DFS because we want motivation at all levels.
mm-hmm.
But for the players, sometimes I guess the what's good for maybe you and I is not necessarily good for the players. But yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it creates a really big incentive to do well in the group stage.
I agree. I like the fact that we're just going to see them advance to the quarters.
Yeah,
As
that's probably
as opposed to straight into the semis. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I enjoyed straight into the semis, but I mean, let's face it, if Gambit and Heroic make it to the semis, they're probably making it to the grand final.
right.
So
Yeah, no, I think that's a better
this kind of helps to even the playing field. Like, don't get me wrong, you're still going up against, the big bad bosses here in the quarters.
right.
But they aren't just like guaranteed, oh, we win this and then we get right to the grand final. No, you got to beat two teams to get there. So I kind of like the change. It still gives incentive, but, it's not like, oh, we're in the Gambit group or we're in the Heroic group and we just want to play for second or third. Which no team goes in doing that, but still, it's like, the powerhouse teams, they are what they are.
Yeah.
For example, you want to be in the Navi group after what we just saw from them in Cologne? No.
Nope.
So, all right. Our playoff format is a single elimination bracket. This is not a double elimination. It's a single elimination bracket. All matches except the grand final are best of 3. The grand final is a best of 5. $750,000 prize pool. I would take a penny of that. No, I'm kidding. Actually, if it's free money, I'll take free money. Yeah.
Take 1%.
There you go. I'll take the 175,000. Everyone else can keep for 60,000. No. I'm kidding. All right. In all seriousness, $175,000 to first place, 60,000 to second, 30,000 each to third and fourth, 13,750 fifth to eighth. Prize points are as follows: 1,300 ESL Pro Tour points to first place and a spot in the Blast Premier World Final, and 2,800 Blast points. Second place gets 1,000 ESL Pro Tour points and 1,400 Blast Premier points. Third and fourth, 780 ESL Pro Tour points, 875 Blast points. The Blast points end fifth to eighth at 262.5. There are no Blast points for anyone finishing ninth or worse. ESL points go from end at 17th to 20th. So, 50 points are 50 points, and for these lower teams, every point matters.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to talk about here? I don't want a penny. I don't want the 175,000. All jokes aside, that Blast Premier World Final spot, I think, is worth its weight in gold in addition to the money.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing, and that I've learned recently is that the teams or the organizations, the bigger organizations, they make money not just on these tournaments, but selling stickers, in-game stickers for guns and stuff. So a win for a big org means a lot more than just 175,000 because of the value of those stickers will increase substantially.
Yeah, Heroic got my $40 when I spent it for my 4 gold Heroic stickers to go with my elite build AK skin. So, just saying.
Yeah, I feel like it's like the T-shirt,
Well, they make these things on merch. They make them on sponsorships. All this other stuff. Go ahead.
No, it's just like it's like the World Series T-shirt or hat. They make a ton of money off of just because they win. For the bigger orgs, I don't. It's these. I feel like some of these teams are scaling up, so eventually, like a small you have to be backed by your organization in order to be successful. I think we're slowly headed in that direction. CS:GO or esports in general. Just saying. Bad news bears. Sorry. No one's
me.
buying your stickers.
Yeah. So,
That's it.
so to sum up your point, because part of me, I will be honest, wasn't listening. I got a text about a fantasy football trade.
Oh, you weren't listening.
That's why I have this on record.
No, I was just talking about the economy that exists outside of the
Yes.
the winnings that's allotted to first through whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, for example, let's just say a team like Fnatic. They're waffling right now, but Fnatic have teams in multiple sports.
Right.
You know,
Oh yeah, their League of Legends team is actually really good.
Mm-hmm. Like for example, like your Team Liquid, your Cloud9s, your all these other organizations that may not be as bigger in the CS:GO. We're dipping their toes into CS:GO, and it's like, yeah, I don't care either way. Like the prestigious orgs are the prestigious orgs. Heroic did so well that someone bought the team. Wasn't it some TV company, whatever, that bought the team, or whoever bought the team, and started investing a lot of money into them?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I don't recall the exact transaction, but yeah, these organizations are becoming massive, and
Yeah.
they're just only going to get bigger.
Esports in and of itself is only getting bigger.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we're in the 20s of baseball, but that's just where it's just barely starting.
yeah, and I mean, like, I'm trying to break into the esports world myself, and if you can get in now, because this billion-dollar industry is only getting bigger and better. All right.
Yep.
Let's quickly sum up these teams. I'll go through them. Astralis, Complexity, Ents, Evil Geniuses, FaZe Clan, Fnatic, G2 Esports, Mouse Sports, Nautisphere, and Na'Vi. The Ninjas in Pajamas, Team Liquid, Team Vitality, Gambit, Heroic, Virtus Pro, Big, Furia, Team Spirit, OG, and Tropic, Sinners Esports, Bad News Bears, Team 1, and Fours, which are coming in as a replacement team. They are replacing the Renegades. Due to travel issues, they couldn't make it.
Too bad.
Yeah, I would have loved to see the Renegades. They were getting better. I am very excited to see what Fours can do. Do any of these teams surprise you at all? Now, again, let's take this into account. The teams that win ESEA Premier get a spot in ESL Pro League. So the teams that won that, Season 36 and Tropic won. Season 37 Sinners won. Season 36 for North America, Bad News Bears won. And the Season 37 for North America Team 1 won.
Yeah, I mean, this is it all makes sense considering the the size of each group. So,
I mean, these are the teams that make sense. Like Sinners has been on the rise, Bad News Bears has been on the rise. We know Entropic's been on the rise.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Entropic can do. I think they can make some noise, and I'm really excited to see what Force can do in here. They have to make the most of this opportunity, 100%. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Team 1's maybe a little bit. How did they make it in? Because they're a Brazilian team, so
they won ESEA Season 37 Premier for North America.
Oh, okay. Well then, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody can win that.
It's ESEA's tough, man. So to win it, you gotta be the best of the best. All right.
No, I'm talking North America though.
It's a little
not
weaker.
so great right now.
All right. So here are the groups. I'm gonna go over them very quickly. Group A starts us off: Heroic, Astralis, Team Vitality, Team Spirit, Ents, and Bad News Bears. GG, Bad News Bears. Sorry. Group B: G2 Esports, Virtus Pro, Complexity, OG, Fours, and Sinners. So I think that's a really fun group. Fours has, I think, a real chance here.
Those are good teams.
I think Fours has a real chance to come in third.
Yeah, I can't. I'm looking forward to Group B, whenever that ends up on Draftkings. But
yep. And then we have Group C. We have Na'Vi, FaZe Clan, Big, Mouse Sports, EG, Fnatic. That's going to be an interesting group. Group D: Gambit, Ninjas in Pajamas, Furia, Team Liquid, Entropic, and Team 1.
That's a rough one,
Outside of Gambit, that group is wide open.
to say the least. Yeah.
You can just keep Gambit slotted in here at this one spot. Let the rest of them fight it out for 2 to 3. And that's
why
the same
bother?
thing with Group C. Just slotted Navi at 1, Gambit at 1.
Oh man, that's funny.
All right. Is there anything else you want to go over and discuss here before
I'm excited.
we
This is
cracking?
This is awesome. I like this makeup very much so.
Excellent. All right. So, and I just realized I'm not sharing my screen with Dan. So I've been talking, and he's been a total sport. He's been a total sport. All right, let's get into this, Dan. Let's get here into DraftKings. This is the CS:GO $15,000 clutch, $5,000 to first tournament. Before we get into this tournament, head over to PrizePicks.com. Sign up using the promo code Clutch. Again, promo code Clutch gets you a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. PrizePicks is amazingly fun. If you were playing PrizePicks in the Academy League and you were smashing Monzi and Torzi and you were paying attention to the stats, you made a lot of money. I'm raising my hand. I went from a very small prize pool. I won a couple $100. So if you were following along with the We Play Academy League over the tournament break, that was a ton of fun. And Torzi and Monzi, get used to hearing their names now. Just saying, they're absolute beasts. Absolute beasts. They're just... They're not fair. They're just not fair.
There's some Brazilians that are up and coming too. Just I know that they probably didn't end up on PrizePicks. I didn't play PrizePicks at all, but Zevi, Safi, and some.
Yeah, Safi's been talked about maybe as a replacement. I think Safi's an opper. I think we saw that when we were going over our recent news show. They were talking a little bit about possibly, I think, Safi coming in and replacing Junior. So they have an opper. I thought I saw something about that, but it may not be right away. So there's that. So yeah, head over to PrizePicks.com. Use the promo code Clutch. Again, promo code Clutch gets you 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Might as well plug the rest of the stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at AdamWX21. Follow Dan on Twitter at Wandelch, WANDELCH. And you can follow the podcast on Twitter at CSGO Clutch Pod. I feel like I'm missing other announcements that I'm not plugging here, and quite frankly, I don't care right now. We have a fantastic 3-game slate to go over. And let's start off with the first game here on the slate. It's Heroic versus the Bad News Bears. This shouldn't take too long. With all due respect to the Bad News Bears, all 5 of Team Heroic are in play. Junior's in play for Bad News Bears. Anything else you want to discuss with this match?
Yeah, I think the Bears have a 1 in 10 chance, which 10%. I could give 10% on a 20. In 20 lineups, that's only two lineups where I would slot them in. I'm totally fine with that.
I have to do more research on this team. So, Junior is standing in on loan for Bad News Bears. He's not part of the team. He's standing in for them. Junior obviously being I would consider a very great opper, almost to elite, in the right system. So, I don't know much about Swisher. We obviously know a little bit about Sheikh Zula from Triumph. We know Janji from Chaos Esports Club when they were formerly with CSGO. I don't know really anything about Alter either, but so for me, just from familiarity, without doing any research right now on Bad News Bears, because it's Heroic, if you want to stack, I would say your options of Bad News Bears are Junior, Sheikh Zula, and Janji.
Yeah, I'd agree. I like Janji.
And they're cheap. Just keep that in mind. Strategy-wise. All right, so here's the strategy. 3-2-1 or 2-2-2.
For me, 3-2-1, just because I think I think you can you can do some one-offs on any of these.
And
games.
I would also like to stress, and I feel like, Dan, you and I have preached this for a while now. Do not play a run back on any of the opposing teams. If you're stacking heroic, you do not want to run it back with someone on the Bears. If you're playing,
unless you have like no unless you really really want certain players and you have no other options.
I would still try and avoid it because the correlation isn't there.
Yeah, you're forcing something in that's not like never optimal. But
Like,
you know, I mean, some people.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, are we keeping you up? Is this podcast keeping you awake?
Oh, it's late on a Sunday.
It is true. Alright, so there's really nothing else to discuss here. All 5 of Team Heroic are in play. All 5 are fine as captains, and I would say Jan and I in agreement, Junior, Sheikh Zula, and Janji. If you know more stats about Swisher and Alter, I'm going to do some research. I'm going to do some research on them in a little bit. Like, probably over the next day or two. So,
hold on,
I mean, we can quickly pull them up now if we like. Let's put them up real quick. Bad news.
No, Alter's on it. It's Spongy.
No, Spongy.
You sure? Basically, don't play Alter. For that reason alone, I mean.
Okay, apparently Spongy's in.
It's basically Triumph plus Janji and whoever Swisher is, but hold on a minute.
I see nothing on here about Alter at all on HLTV. So yeah, don't play Alter. I don't know why he's in there. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, don't play Alter. So Spongy's in. I take a chance on Spongy. So let's go take a look at what Swisher Stats like. Swisher is 22. Welcome back. So let's take a look online over the last 3 months for Swisher. He's actually been really good. So Swisher is definitely someone I have interest in. 1.12 kill to death ratio, 82.6 ADR, a 0.7 KPR, and a rating of 1.15. He's good. So I definitely, I would definitely take a look at Swisher as well. Looks like he came over from Gaming. Alright, with that being said, let's head on over to our second game on the slate. Team Vitality versus Ents. So again, to recap, don't play Alter. Spongy looks like he is in. Alright, Team Vitality versus Ents. This is the game where Dan, you and I think we're kind of already on the same page. The biggest leverage on this entire slate is Ents over Team Vitality.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say the biggest, but certainly the best.
Okay, fine. The biggest is actually Bad News Bears, like the 1 out of 9,000 chance that they have a beating Heroic.
Yep.
Which is me totally exaggerating. Okay, Bears are the biggest leverage. The probably best leverage to get spot on is Ents over Team Vitality.
Yeah.
Ents are probably going to be way lower owned. I think Team Vitality has now shown enough that Masuda is now the clear number 2 over Shocks.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome. And that's also reflected in both Masuda and Shocks' prices here on DraftKings. So, Dan, talk to us about this game.
I honestly think it really could go either way. And I think Zywoo is going to be super high owned. And I could see fading Zywoo completely. Well, maybe not completely. That's
I'd say be very careful on full Zywoo fade.
Yeah, because he'll probably even if he gets like 70 points, he'll probably still end up in the optimal or whatever wins because so many people will play him. You know what I mean? But there might be a better build that we see in hindsight. I am this is completely anecdotal. I feel like he does struggle like after a break. So might be on the fade train.
Maybe. Alright, here's a player I want to talk about at Ents, and that's Dodo.
Dodo, he's been killing it.
That's what it seems like. So I want to take a look at his stats.
Oh, he has been.
He's been more solid than not. And Dodo on this slate is $5,800.
Lamb.
I'm absolutely of interest on Dodo on this slate. I think if I'm going to rank people from Ents, it's Spinks 1, D-Ha 2. I'm going to go Dodo 3 and Hades 4, Snappy 5. Look, I don't like playing Operas against Zaibu with Simple. I know it has almost no correlation. This is a kid that came over from Whistler Krakow to Ents because Alu is taking time away from CSGO. I still think he has a lot to learn. I think, well, he's definitely a very gifted opper and a very gifted young CSGO player. You're up against the world number 2 and the reigning, defending world number 1 2 years in a row.
Yeah, it's a bit of a matchup.
It's a bit of a mismatch. Now, can Hades do well? Yes, if you're playing anything over a 3 max. Even in a 3 max, I have maybe one lineup that has Hades in it. Just be very careful. Because, Zaiwu is that good. I really like Spinks. Like, if I'm gonna, 3-stack Heroic and do a 2-stack from the last game on the slate, I got no problem doing a Spinks one-off.
Ah, Spinks is good.
I really like Spinks here. I really, really do. He's the... Yeah, I think Spinks and D-Ha are the main two. I really like a mini 2-stack of Spinks and Dodo, though, too. That gets you very different very quickly. I mean, Dodo's going to be
What's D-Ha's price?
D-Ha is $6,600.
So the last time they played, which was in March, they were on Nuke and Dust 2. And Ents 2-0'd Vitality. But that was the
Kyojin debut, I think, right?
Oh, I think this was RPK's final match. Or final tournament or something.
Oh, it was the final big tournament because RPK played in Blast after that.
Yeah. So they got absolutely clobbered. I'd be curious if they end up with the same maps.
Yeah, so we will definitely see. Again, so I wish Dan and I had more to go off of. Coming off a tournament break, these teams are probably getting new strats, they've been probably working on new things during scrims, and we just don't know what we're going to get yet. Right? Like, I really wish we did know what we were going to get, but...
I like Apex.
Yeah, I think everyone from Team Vitality is in play. My favorite from Team Vitality, obviously, Zaibu, then Masuda. It's like a 1A, 1B for me. Shocks 3, Apex 4, Kyojin 5. I need to see more out of Kyojin. Kyojin has started to adapt to Tier 1 play. Still has a way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, he just looked more comfortable.
Yeah, like, he finally started looking more comfortable. More comfortable on this team, the pressure, everything else. Like, he started looking good in Cologne. So, I'm excited to see what Kyojin can bring. Clearly, Team Vitality thinks a lot of this kid if they're the one that called him up, and no one heard of this kid beforehand. So I'm very, very, very interested to see what Kyojin can do in this tournament. But for me, right now, it's a stay away unless you're over a 20 max. Anything else you want to talk about from this game?
Nope, I'm good. I think...
Let's get into the final game, then. It's Team Spirit versus Astralis.
50-50.
Oh! I knew what I was going to plug. See? I've had a month off from the podcast, and I forgot my spiels. Hit that like button down below in YouTube there, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below, and hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button. Really helps us out. Gets this podcast on your devices quicker. And gets you all a great chance of getting in your research as quick as possible. There you go. I knew I was missing one other thing. I couldn't remember what it was. Alright, here we go. Final game here on the slate. Team Spirit versus Astralis. Man, the pricing on these guys are weird.
Yeah.
Bubsky is $5,400. STY is $6,000. Chopper's $5,400.
But Chopper's risky. I mean,
He is a risky play. Is he more risky than Magus at 6,800?
yeah. I mean, you're talking about Magics, right? Not...
Magic's right. Sorry. Of course, we get the game with the two Magic's name players. Yeah, yeah. Magic's from Team Spirit, not Magus from Team Astralis.
Magic's. In my opinion, Magic's is a way better play than Chopper at 5,400.
I like that. Tell me a bit more about it.
I just think he's a better player. I mean, Chopper's the IGL. Like, Chopper is really, he's had some rough goes recently. So, I know I feel like all the sharps like to play Chopper, but I do not.
Hi, Dan. Sorry, I just remember Chopper having really good games, and he can break a slate.
Yeah. I got burned by him recently too, so it might be.
I've gotten burned by Chopper many times. I understand. But Chopper also has a ceiling.
Yeah, I don't like the matchup at all.
No. I think Spirit against Astralis, I think, is leverage. Because the three winners from these games should be Heroic, Team Vitality, and Astralis.
I think this is a hedge. Out of 20 lineups, you do 10 with Spirit and 10 with
Astralis. I'm okay with that. I'd even skip some Astralis and go more Team Spirit just for the variance.
Sure.
Astralis could be shaky right now. Look, we talked about it on the recent news podcast. Glaive re-signing a 3-year deal. Zonic might be on his way out. We don't know what's happening with the other 4 outside of Bubsky, who's on a 2-year contract. This team's going to fight to win. They don't have a dedicated opper. Lucky is not on the slate. I do not anticipate Lucky playing at all in this tournament.
No.
So Dupree looks to have been handling a lot of the main opping duties. We've had Glaive taking care of a lot of the opping opportunities as well. Zipix, the clutch master himself, and I don't know what to do at Magisk. 8,800. He's the most expensive Astralis player on this slate. What are you doing with Magisk on this slate? I have interest, but he's not a priority.
I like him. I think. I don't know his exact role now, but I know that it's definitely he's stepped up his fragging. I like not to avoid the question, but Glaive is probably my favorite play just because of the number of assists that he gets, flash assists and other assists. He had like 20 assists in a map. His ceiling is pretty high because of assists.
He also has a lower floor though.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be high owned.
Yep,
for sure, because we're not. This is no big secret.
I have no take on this game one way or another. I think you would probably lean the Team Spirit side more. That's my own opinion. I would take the leverage on Team Spirit.
Yeah, we think that's leverage.
I think it's leverage. I would probably 2-stack them, honestly, and just stay safe with Mir and Dexter, and just try getting different elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely Mir. I mean, I don't think I could. I feel like my Spirit lineups would be a minimum 1 of Mir. Well, you know what I mean. Like Mir would be
is someone that can break a slate. We've seen it on multiple occasions.
He's so good.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, sir. Here we go. Any last-minute thoughts on that game before we get into our next segment?
Nope.
Alright, here we go. Core value, large field GPP, and favorite team stack segment. Dan, 3-game slate. Who you got?
Core. I'm going to go with Zywoo.
Zywe.
Value.
I'm bringing it back. I'm sorry.
Zywe.
It's a great
He is
nickname.
French, so like we.
Oh, Dan's got dad jokes.
All right, so then value would be
I mean, the value has to be Bubsky at 5,400, right?
has to be. I'm gonna go. Yeah, all right, Bubsky. Yep, that makes sense. Or Junior.
I like that.
GPP would be like a 2-man stack on Bad News Bears, or even 3.
I like that call.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Do you have a favorite team stack?
Favorite team stack would probably be Heroic.
I would agree. All right, core play for me on the slate. I don't really have one because I think this slate is a little bit more wide open. If I wanted to say who am I going to be heavier on, Masuda. I just got a gut feeling about him on this slate.
I like it.
So he's probably as close to a core as I want, but I haven't made lineups yet, so this is Dan and I's first time looking at all the pricing with you all. I have no idea how I want to build lineups yet. Can I construct 2 heroic around Vitality? Am I going to go Ents? Am I going to go Team Spirit? I haven't decided yet. So Masood is probably as close to a core play for me on the slate as possible. I'll take Bubsky for my value. Dan, you got Junior, so we're both on the same 2 value. If you're playing Bad News Bears as well, again, Sheikh Zula and Janji are fine. Dodo also a value at 5,800 and a GPP play for me at 5,800. Another GPP play again, Masuda, and I'm gonna go with Cadian.
Ooh.
As a play here. It is a pure long start GPP play because I don't think Cadian plays all that well, but he can definitely break a slate. I'm gonna switch off. I'm gonna stick with Cadian and Tessus. $9,800. People are gonna have to make a decision whether they want to play Tessus with Zywoo or Cadian or some of these other higher price guys. I think Tessus comes in a little lower owned than he should, and I really like Cadian as well for a large field GPP. Favorite team stack also is Heroic, but I also like Team Vitality. If you want a large field GPP play, it's Ents.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do is look back to when Hunden was suspended last summer and see how Cadian did, or the rest of the team did when he wasn't part of it.
Excellent. All right, Dan. We have a massive amount of options here on Prize Picks. Give me 3.
That's a Nico 40.5, like little Nico.
No. Rico.
What am I seeing? Oh, okay, then yeah, I don't know who that is, but let's go with Snatchy under 40.5.
Okay.
Tessus over 38.5.
Okay.
And then Janji. Kind of a low one, but let's go with God, Spinks.
I mean, we have plenty more down here.
Oh, Freddy Frog. Let's go with the who are they playing?
The Big Academy.
Let's go with the over Freddy Frog.
I like it.
Freddy.
All right. You all right over there?
Did you hear that?
What was that?
I dropped my headset. I'm sorry.
Don't
everybody.
do that. Jeez. Crazy, man. All right, so one that sticks out to me immediately, Aqua from Big Academy under.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to tell you exactly why. If you played the We Play Academy League, where is it? So Big Academy are playing in Multivibes. If we go over here to Big Academy, and we go over to Aqua, and I just take a look at his last few matches, so we just go over the last month of play. These are best of ones. Okay, I'm going to go over his most recent. 6, 20, 12, 11, 14. Before that, he had 22 against Astralis Talent, 19 against Navi Jr., 15 against the Young Ninjas. He's had a 30, a 39, and a 22. He's been over 20 frags 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the last month of play.
Do it.
His line is 36.5.
Yeah, that's. Oh my god.
I'm taking the under on Aqua. Oh, the rest of these lines are really tight. I like the mirror line. I think that's about right. I want to go over on that Magus line of 37.5.
I would.
I'm going to go over on that Magus line. I agree with you in the Tessus over 38.5.
I think that's a good one.
I'm going to go under on Zybo.
Yeah.
43.5.
I mean, think about the discrepancy between the pricing on DraftKings and then that line.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go under on 43.5 as Zybo here. I think for me, if we're going to combine Dan and I's picks for a power play, like let's just do a 3-play power play, Dan. I agree with you on Snatchy under. I agree with you on Tessus over. And I would lock in Aqua under as a 3-pick power play. Did you agree with that? Dan? Did I lose you? Dan!
Yeah.
There he is. Okay, he's back. Would you agree for a 3-pick power play? Aqua under? Oh, Discord apparently just decided it wanted to update itself, ladies and gentlemen. That's so strange. It's literally updating itself right now. That makes literally no sense. Sorry about that. Let me try rebooting Discord and getting Dan back in here. I don't know what happened. That's very strange. It just like dropped me and then just started rebooting. Very strange. So I would say we'll stick with that for the 3-pick power play. Dan, are you there?
I'm here.
Sorry about that. Discord just dropped my signal and at the same time just decided it was like refreshing and updating itself. It was very strange.
Yeah, I'm good with the power play. So
excellent.
Lock it in.
All right, Dan. Anything else to talk about in this slate?
Now let's call it a night.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. The CS:GO Guns podcast is back. Tier 1 Counter-Strike is back. I'm excited. Good luck on this slate. For Dan, I'm Adam. Latest, peoples.